what are the trends if we're looking at the developments now? Because with the pandemics, of course, and also with the decoupling trends on the one hand, where's the civil law on the other hand, what do you think will happen, or what will the trends will be in the next 5 years for companies doing business with China? Will it be more difficult, more, will it become easier? Will nothing change? What is your like trend idea?
There are two. It's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the Chinese going global,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing global investments. And of course, it's always difficult if you do investments in another country, or if you go in another country. And like 10, 20 years ago, if Europeans went to China, they also did very stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
And now when Chinese come over, they're always a little taken aback, like in our way of keeping the legal system in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically the biggest difference I see is that if in China something is illegal, it's almost impossible to do it.
Okay.
So if you look at the surveillance also of transactions, it's
Mm-hmm.
so strict in China, and there's so little privacy that it's almost impossible to do really,
Mm-hmm.
stupid things.
Yeah.
Also under the law, you need a license before you can open up a business. You need a permission for that,
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot do it. In the West, you can do everything. Maybe it's illegal, and maybe later you'll get a slap on the wrist, but you
Mm-hmm.
can do it. So
Okay.
if Chinese come here, and if they come from a culture where it's impossible to do things that are illegal,
Mm-hmm.
and when they come into a culture where it's your own responsibility, this is very difficult.
Yeah.
And they are often unprepared for this. And this gives them a bad name because they simply do things, and, maybe they look in a different way, like how to communicate with the people in the village about this new
Mm-hmm.
factory or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So this makes it complicated, and this creates unfortunately sometimes tensions
Mm-hmm.
and bad feelings. And I think that's something that's that I try to prevent with my own Chinese clients coming to Europe, because I think it's important that you have the good spirit on all sides. And then Westerners going to China, I think the trend is that a lot of Western investment is I actually divested, so they go away from, or they leave China.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's partly the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also partly, unfortunately, the way that that especially our Western politicians are trying to create an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is making it hard also for multinationals who originally come from Europe or America
Mm-hmm.
to keep up their Chinese presence.
Okay.
And I'm just a Dutch lawyer. I'm not a world leader, so I cannot offer any solutions for that. I can just say that I see it and that I regret it,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's much better if we all had a little more respect for each other and don't immediately start calling the other names.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal idea. But unfortunately, what you see is that in politics nowadays, it's about the 1 minute interview on TV, and it's not about the big analysis, really.
Yeah.
So that's the trend that
Mm-hmm.
I see for Westerners to China.
Mm-hmm.
It's being made hard not by China, but it's
Mm-hmm.
being made hard by all the controversy that exists in the West on this topic.
Mm-hmm. Because just what you said, this seeing the big picture apart from the 1-minute interview is a great strength of Chinese leaders. I think they are quite good at planning well ahead. So many of the developments now are said to have started in the 50s, 60s, 80s, and so on. So the Chinese leader do tend to have this approach of, maybe that's also what would be beneficial, if I may sum up your general like input into this discussion, is that having an opener approach and a more mediation like approach, meaning trying to find a win-win situation, being on the same level, like having respect for your partner, nobody is better or worse or whatever, and accepting the other, would in general solve a lot of challenges on all levels, from individuals to corporations, but also on a state strategic level. Is that correct? Did I get you right?
You got me perfectly right, and it's yeah, it's a very neatly expressed summary. Yeah, yeah.
So if we, like, if companies are wondering what to do, or in general stakeholders are wondering what to do about China, the easiest approach would be to tell them, yeah, just like go over there, have a look. Also for the Belt and Road Initiative, be more open, approach the players on the Chinese side, and try to find a win-win situation, right? I mean, that is very promising.
That, yeah, that, and if I may add, that when you start something in China, that you have to be prepared to invest for a long time, in especially in relationship. So is not an easy, it's never an easy win or an easy transaction. It's always a long-term thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think this is something that transpires in general, that China is not an easy win or an easy, like, it's not easy to just go there and make money within half a year and come back a millionaire. That's quite clear. Do you have any other, like, any other experiences you would like to share from your also legal practice with Chinese customers, or also with Western customers in China? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you feel is important or should be mentioned?
Maybe my I can give away my own trick in deciding if a Western client, if I will help them myself or if I will give them to a junior to help further in China. Okay. And that is, I always try to pick them up at the airport, and then we sit in the back of a car and we drive to the center of Beijing. And then if the Westerner will start commenting on, that's very dangerous, he drives wrong, he should do this, he should do that. I know, this is not my client, you know. Yeah. I will I'm not doing this.
This is great. I love this approach. It's a little bit, sometimes you have the situation of companies going, yeah, but will it take very long? And you're like,
Exactly.
Will we be able to do that within a year? I love this example, especially about the drive from the airport to Beijing city center. Wow, that was really, really a nice conversation. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for sharing your ideas and everything. That was amazing.
Good. I hope you have a lot of success with the article. And if there's any footage you want to use, is also possible, of course. And I also enjoyed it very much. It was a nice interview.